welcome to the Cozy Library. Today is an English video time, but first, I'm going to talk in my mother language, Indonesian, to explain something. Oke, jadi hari ini adalah waktunya video bahasa Inggris lagi. Karena dari video bahasa Inggris kemarin banyak yang bilang, buat lagi dong video bahasa Inggrisnya, aku bisa belajar bla bla. Akhirnya oke, aku buat lagi. Dan kalau kamu nggak ngerti, kamu bisa nyalain subtitlenya di bawah sini yang Indonesian. Oke, itu aja. Aku akan lanjut ke video bahasa Inggrisnya. Oke, so let's get going. Today we are going to decorate a tote bag. This is also my assignment and I have to make a video about this, so actually I'm doing my assignment. But decorating tote bags is kind of fun because you can use the tote bag to bring your books later. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so for this project you will need a white tote bag. I used the medium size one. It's only 4,000 rupiah, but you can use any size that you want. And also brushes and palette. And fabric paint. I use the non-color one so I can add color to it later. And here's the paint that I use. I use several colors. And also sponge to stamp it on later. The first step is I'm going to cut my patterns. So before this video started, I've already searched for some inspiration, and my inspiration for the tote bag design is Japanese culture because I'm a Japanese culture lover. I love Japanese culture. So I take some inspiration from old Japanese paintings like koi fishes, fireflies, and the pattern of their sea that's so unique. I took that patterns and I've drawn it here. I'll cut it, so let's just cut it first. This one looks like Wi-Fi, but it's actually the sea pattern. Can you see it? Wait, I'm gonna zoom it. It looks like Wi-Fi, right? So the first step into making this tote bag is to copy the pattern of the drawings you make into the sponge. So my first pattern that I copy is this firefly one because it's the easiest. And then I cut it to stamp it on the tote bag later. But before I mix the color, I like yellow, so the color that I mix is yellow. But I want to use it on the real tote bag because it's quite too bright and it doesn't show too much on the fabric. But the stamping result test is really good, so I'm pretty confident this will work out well. The next is to copy the koi pattern that I made. It's the most difficult pattern to copy because I want to take only the outlines and then I glue it to another layer of sponge so that it will be easier to stamp it later. I used 2 layers of sponge so that it has quite a high handle, so it will be easier to stamp on later. Next, I try to print it on paper to make sure that it won't come out bad, but it come out really good, so I'm pretty confident about this. Because I want to make sure that it will went well with the pattern. You have to be really precise in making this Japanese sea pattern, so mind that. When you stamp the koi fish, you have to make sure that you have paint all over the stamp so that it will come out good. Remove the excess because it will look bad on your tote bag. I stamp the eye with a chopstick because it will be too small if I make one extra stamp for the eye. Then I work with the C. This is the longest part, so I just skip it to the part where I finish the C. I want to make the C like a gradation of blue, so in the middle I mix the blue color with the lighter blue to make it look like a gradation. Then I make the sun that's kind of popular in Japanese painting. It's kind of hard because the surface is so big, so you have to make sure you have enough paint on your stamp. And because the stamp is kind of big, I have to reapply the paint over and over again to make sure that all the surface has paint over it. And finally, it's time for the fireflies. And here's the final result. I made this in quite 4 hours, so please make sure that you have enough time to make this tote bag. Okay, so that's it, stamping a tote bag with me. I hope you enjoy it and you can try it at home. And if you try it at home, please tag me at Books at the Library. And here is the final result. It's so pretty. I love it. And I'm going to use this to bring my books everywhere, maybe. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Happy reading, happy painting. My hand is such a mess. And bye-bye.